What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legos could become a reality, but we need your help. Zero Helix is sponsoring this video. He did not pay me much. I didn't want to ask for much because I will be spending way more on this product when it is real, and I love the hard work he has put into it. Look at this Blue Eyes White Dragon and concept Lego art, and that's the key word, concept here, because if this can get to 10,000 supporters, this isn't Kickstarter, it's completely free to sign up for over on the Lego Idea site. All you need is an account. I think all the information they ask is your email, your birth date / age, and then they make sure you're old enough, and you can just click support. You don't back it, you don't pour money into it. We just need 10,000 people, and then Lego will actually talk to the IP holders of Yu-Gi-Oh! And try to get that ball rolling. And if you're like, DM era again, pointy hat, dark magician, think about a GX box set if this starts going well. Think about a 5D set, because they certainly could branch out into the other categories, but let's start with the best sellers. Let's start with the best foot, and I do think this is really something that could have that lower price point for certain kits, higher for others, and actually explores into the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! If he gets the interest. But again, completely free. You just gotta make an account and click upvote, and I've already done that. Please go ahead and do that with me, because then I'll have Emily just staring as more Yu-Gi-Oh! Collectibles pile up in the house, and if it's Lego kits, I think she'd actually get a pretty big kick out of that. That being said, let's get into today's Market Watch with Speed Duel. GX Duel Academy box announced. It has its glam, and it has an updated description. We do know there will be secret rare variants of popular GX era cards, and if it's anything like the Battle City box, that will be a little random number generation pack inside, where you're pulling different secret rare upgrades of certain things, and people are already trying to figure out who's on top of the box, what's gonna be inside. People freaking about maybe volcanics and new secret rares. That would be pretty funny, but this is what we know now. And so why am I bringing up? It's not all that much new info. Well, whenever there's a new product release in a line, we look back to the old one, and this yield has been going up for a bit. It's $53 low on TCG Player. Tier 0 sold out when they had a ton, and they were trying to offer it at $41, so we know that it's flying out like hotcakes at the lower prices than TCG Player, and there's not a lot of these left. So if you're interested in it sealed, I might get that sooner than later using that TCG Player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. But instead, I'd also be looking around at these secret rares. A lot of them have cooled down in price over time, despite having lower quantities, and once this update comes out, people go, oh yeah, I remember this card, or maybe I want to update my collection, my set, and by then it's usually already too late, because if we look at the legendary hero decks, for example, it came out and it spiked the legendary dragon decks, did it not? And it went from, like, it was still 35 into 50, 60, 90, going crazy. This is the very first in its line. It has Yugi and Kaiba on the front. It has very memorable GOAT upgrades. Winged Dragon of Ross secret rare is looking very nice, which is its only version, which is why Slifer and Obelisk are lower. Those are guaranteed in the pack, but you're looking at all these really awesome versions of cards that actually see play and also have that collectability aspect. I would think about getting some of those sooner than later, especially with their crazy price history where they were higher than this for a good bit. So let yourself learn lessons from the history of the market on how different product lines update past ones, and even if you're not going to take part, kind of just look and watch and learn a lesson from it as well, depending on where it goes. I could be completely wrong too. That's why this is not a financial advisor channel, and I don't have time traveling info brokers that tell me what cards are going to go up. We look at market trends and history to see where things might go. Gold Sarcophagus Gold Rare got bought out. That's an interesting one, and a name I haven't said in a while, ever since it got put to 1. But this is seeing play not only in Despia, but also for speculation in Flandrees. You can play this in Despia and pretty much, I believe, get a search automatically on demand. But then when you also have the aspect of any Flandrees banished can start adding itself back, people are thinking about teching it, and you see tons of the other holographics, even the newer Hidden Summoners secret rare version, which is a very nice look of the card, and then you have the gold rares starting to go low on quantity. You know something's up. In the commons, they're not the most available either. Shoutouts to the prize card versions, though. Unavailable. Weird. I think with this, the gold rare is kind of getting really ridiculous in price. The secret rare is a very decent option, but $40 lowest, people actually buying it out through the $20 mark, it's kind of going a bit crazy for two different options, but Flun 3 is definitely a top meta contender potentially. Decide which version's right for you. I'd personally just maybe get my secret rare copies right now if I was you. When we're looking at other buyouts that are going crazy on the market, Legendary Duelist Rage of Ra is getting second lookups right now. The sealed is actually kind of settling. I believe last time we looked it was up a little bit versus this on the individual boxes and down on the cases. Now the cases are up and the individual boxes are down. Remember, there's about one ghost rare per case, and 1 out of every 10 cases on average seem to be missing a ghost rare, so people can start opening boxes, hit the ghost rare, and try to grade it and sell the rest. So there is that dirty game on why people are avoiding the single boxes, but the sealed cases, they're rising nicely, and so are some of these ultra rares. Egyptian God Slime getting respiked, Ancient Chant getting respiked. I don't think there's a sudden rush in demand for these. It's more, we're entering that dead month where there's no Yu-Gi-Oh! Product releases and people are looking at, well, if I sell my mega tenable cards now, where do I sink my money? Into stuff that might not get reprinted or stuff that's collectible and stuff like this or that. I remember you could get these for like 22, 24. You could get this so much cheaper, and now they're just way up there. Sometimes it's good to listen to Market Man, right? Dawn of Majesty, Yawn of Majesty, whatever you want to call it, has a little bit of movement. We do have BeeTrooper up even more than last time we covered it. We went from 17 to 20, and Ready Fusion starting to hike up, market price of 31, and lowest is there before it's 34. A lot of people are talking about playing this in Pure Sword Soul, apparently, and I find that one interesting. A little bit weird. I think Instant Fusion might be better there, but people are speculating on what else they can end up mixing this in with in the future. And I think when it comes down to it, yeah, you have options. Like, you also have BeeTrooper right now playing that freaking Quaggar Hercules. I have like 5 of these in my closet, and I'm actually tempted to sell them right now. This is ridiculous what people will do in order to end up playing a deck and scramble just for a copy or version of a card. But when it comes down to it, several decks are considering it, and Ready Fusion, it was down towards 22 at its very, very low, I feel like, and now we see that climb up with actual sales rates panicking around 36, 34, where you can see, you know, just a bit ago, wow, wait, are these all today? These are all today. Wow, this is freaking moving, and it's still today. Oh, this is going, huh? I actually hadn't clicked that. Man, you all are going wild on this card all of a sudden. Who said that this one seemed pretty nice? It's that kind of day, isn't it? Also, Doom Dozers are going up in price. All generic good insect stuff seems to be going that way, so if you have any, be aware. You got like a $10 card now minimum, it seems. You might want to be selling those on the hype train, but I also wanted to shout out a certain seller if it's still here. Yes, Athena TCG, this is just good looks. Actually setting a price where somebody who is thinking about hollowing up might go for a not first edition ulti. They're not overly greedy in what they're placing it at, where other people are like 150, 200. Yes, these are first ed, but sub 100 being the only near mint copy. Good on you for trying to be this kind of seller and trying to make an actual sale rather than just, oh, I really hope someone gets desperate and setting a price that others slowly undercut. Good on you for trying to make the sales. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. You would think I'd be more in tune with Kaijus. I don't know when this went up in price. I've heard some BeeTroopers are considering playing this. You already have Godarla access. I don't know why the secret is spiking like this all of a sudden. I didn't know the super was $7. In fact, before I quit vending, this is one of the last cards I bought a stack of in Zodiac format or something like that. It was Round Wind Spirals. Yeah, so Zoo format. I feel like it's kind of interesting that after all this time it only has 2 printings. It's a field wipe that nets you some advantage with an engine for removal that you actually want to see sometimes. So that's what it has going for it, but let me know where you're seeing this actually played in the meta, because it doesn't take down Dragoon by itself or anything like that, and it often can get stuffed by a negation, but then it's a removal piece on a later street/turn. It is a really cool card, and let me know what it's seeing play in right now. And finally, Ancient Guardians has a buyout. Is there any hope for the sealed? Absolutely not, because it's in the collector rare range, Pankratops is shooting up, and this has been around the 120 for some time, so it's not like this $10 hike's the most, but there's only one of those before it's quickly 140. So people are starting to get this. It's a one of right now, but you could have the ban list speculation of, yeah, they've got to do something to go back and sell. Absolutely not. They would not peel off Pankratops only for that. A single collector rare does not make a set like this because you're only going to see it in 1 out of every 4 cases on average. But Skullmeister, the 3 of, has rebounded just a hair. It's been around here too, though. But you do see it's going up a little bit, and it's seeing some play in this format. It looks really badass in person. But the top 2 collector rares of Ancient Guardians, as I said, if you were thinking about getting the boxes or the singles are probably the more immediate win, and it does look to be headed that way, especially with the quantities right now. The rest of the set, wow, if you ever wanted to buy Ogdo Attic, Ogdo Abyss, Ogdo Addick, get it now. It's so freaking cheap that it's ridiculous. It's almost penny stonkish. This has been one of the worst sets of all time. I can't keep a straight face, but seriously, it is interesting to see a collector rare buyout because it's not as if people will rip open boxes with a 1 out of 4 case chance at getting that singular collector rare. It just doesn't make sense mathematically. In fact, if you open 3 boxes even at this price, on the average chance to see 1 collector rare, it's a 1 in 15 chance that that collector rare would be a Pankratops. That's how bad the math is, and why these singles actually end up being a decent lookup in terms of, oh yeah, maybe I should get my Skullmeisters at this point. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing back after video after video if you haven't subscribed? Like this video if you enjoyed the discussion, and help this man's, I know it's sponsored, but seriously, help this man's make this dream a reality. He works so hard on it, and I'll be a paying customer once it does get created, but I need your help to make that happen as well.